in London. Must have been. It must have been 17 years ago now, and it wasn't in London, it was in Brighton at the time. Had a picture of a homeless man, and underneath it was a saying. Can you find any images online that might be the poster I saw? We'll see what the dumb AI finds us. So yeah, I saw this poster and it was inspirational. It said, "Where are you with being homeless? Are you like, yeah, if I ever find myself homeless, I will rock it? Or are you scared?" And I was like, I will rock homelessness, you do not know. Except I had a serious mental health disorder when I was homeless, and um, it didn't work. It didn't work. I wasn't successful. I mean, I built a little shelter in a car park in an abandoned, no, petrol station. It was an abandoned petrol station in. Begins. I won't tell you what it begins with. We're not doing letters today. I'm really, really that sensitive about it. They've come back and they said that they they don't really know. They've given a few options, but it's none of them. No, it's none of those. What I remember of the image was inspirational the other way. It was like a super tramp selling super homelessness some way. Like, no, we'll see. That's how I remember hearing it. That was the question in my mind. The ideogram formed of this poster. It was only a small poster, only a sticker. It was a sticker more than anything, but it could have been a poster. I'm calling it a poster not to confuse it. They're not clever yet. Oh, you want to know about Jesus and our business? It was called. It was. It was called a really good spiritual name for Jesus. In fact, it had the best name for Jesus. It was the best name for Jesus, and I wanted to change the name. I wanted to change the name because it didn't say money. Because our business advisor said, "Your business." This we had about one session of free business advice, and we saw a business advisor, and the business advisor advised us if we're going to change the name, to pick a name that began with A, so that when everybody searches on the internet or finds us in the directories, yeah, we used to have directories in those days. The Yellow Pages and another one, and they'd have all the businesses and the phone numbers. And I remember using them at the business. And the business advisor's recommendation was change your business to a name beginning with A. To a name beginning with A. And and the coffee's almost done. So that I'm gonna take a coffee now. I'll take a coffee now. And change your maybe go to double A or something. Think about the next letter because in the directory it's AB. So try and call yourself AB something, innit? Something that big. And we're back to letters. I don't like this. Ah, And that was my thinking. Just do whatever the business manager says, and we make money. We make money. Surely it's the business advisor. The business advisor knows better than me, and I know business from, well, I don't really read books. I know business from being bullied in school and saying, I'm going to make money in this world. And I live in London and I'm privileged that way. And it ain't hard to make money in this world. Just listen to what the people that know what they're talking about say and do what they say, if you can. And well, in my head, that was me. And what we're going to call Jesus, his reincarnation, I can't tell you his real name just yet. What are we going to say his name is? What are we calling him? You tell me. We're going to call him Yellow Bag. Yep, we're calling him Yellow Bag. Now, Yellow Bag. Yellow Bag was a big idiot in my eyes when it came to business. He was a big idiot in a few things. From my perspective, I couldn't see the Jesus in him then. I can see it in him as a potential now. He's still got to come good on a good few things, and he's on the bad books, in fact, on the good and bad list in my eyes at the moment. But he could still come good, and he's a lot better person than any other that I've met in this life. He's one of the best people I've met, and I have to give him that, even though he's on the naughty list. And he could turn it all around, but I don't know. If he turns it around, it's like, Gabriel, you know you signed up for this. You know it was your choice on an conscious level that we both agreed. So don't complain. And for that reason, we'd get on with it. It'd be like, yeah, you're right. So you're Jesus. I haven't had that conversation with him. I tried to and he hasn't replied. Not yet. I'm sure we'll speak. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Otherwise, I'm going to sell him out to the whole world. I'm going to sell him out to the whole world. But Yellow Bags was a dumb idiot when it came to money and business because I had an ego about business because I was prepared to do anything to make money because I was bullied at school. And that's what I said when I started thinking about the world that I was going to do. And I say, if I had a good childhood and wasn't bullied at school, and I had friends that treated me like friends, I maybe had one or two girlfriends in school instead of none, and having to lie. On one occasion, I had a girlfriend. That was really embarrassing and shameful. I was fat, didn't do well at sports, didn't get on with the boys, not since um, primary school. I realised, oh, the boys are just, I don't like them at the moment. Let's go and hang out with the girls. That's me. Welcome to my world. But yeah, I played with the boys sometimes. We played slap ball. You get a tennis ball, you throw it against the wall, you slap it back to the wall. The other person slaps it back to the wall. That was a good game, yeah. That was a good game. Mohsin. Mohsin in my school, he was a giant. He was from Kenya, but he looked Indian. And he was a giant compared to the rest of us. And he could play slap ball and undercut it and make it go close to the ground better than anybody. Secondary school where I got bullied. You could say primary school was a 50-50. Are we going to call this bullying, Gabriel? You know you get punched more than most people if you look at it from an external perspective. So I couldn't see that. So it wasn't bullying. There was no maliciousness by anybody. It's not like I'm going to hate Andreas. My name was Andreas then. I'm going to hate Andreas. No. It was just, I probably got an extra few punches, an extra few things stolen. and I wasn't good at socializing. So, but I had a couple good friends in primary school. But secondary school, it all went to shit. Everybody sort of picked on me. I was like, it was clear by secondary school, image and appearance and weight is important. So, yeah, in primary school, I got teased names because of my weight, but it wasn't malicious. It's just what happens in this world. It's not because we need to hate Andreas today, but in secondary school, that's bullying. That's bullying. That's what it is. We need to hate this person today. Every day, we're going to hate him. That's a bit different. That's a bit different. That's a lot different. And well, I decided after that experience, instead of it being, just the same as primary school, not finding out people hated me, not personal, it's just my hard life. And I can joke and I'm light-hearted, I'm not depressed. I haven't got a mental health disorder by the second year before leaving secondary school. I might be like, yeah, sod it. I'll go to university. I'll do the design course that I like in my head. And instead of going to college and saying, I need a new start. I need a new start. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Everybody calls me names in secondary school. That's it. That's it. When I go to college, I do not care about my name. I do not care what people call me. And I said, I've just got to turn this around. But I had a mental health disorder already. Life was too hard and I was bulimic. And for all intensive purposes, college was fantastic. I found friends. I had friends in college. I've really good friends to anything I knew before in school. They still picked on me, but that was a bit like primary school. They didn't hate me ever. And we were just the best mates that really a shit situation could make. And how do I know that? Because in Brighton, I got to meet Jesus's Yellow Bags' crew, and he knew the best people. He knew the absolute best people, and it's like you don't get picked on. No, never. That's not allowed. That's not acceptable. But in the best group of friends that I could get in London after being bullied, that was still acceptable. Everybody had a laugh. Everybody picked on each other. Banter, joke, the masculine way. But no, that's not needed, I found out. So I don't blame those people. They were the best people. But because of where we had grown up, the best that those best people could do was still picking on each other. And I was super sensitive, so I didn't say a lot. Well, they were definitely my friends, 100% my friends. It's just so sad when I see Yellow Bags' crew. And it's like, no picking on you. And once you let the fighting go, there's no putting people down. It's just lifting people up. And how do we lift people up? Every imaginable way. Every imaginable way. And that was an experience for me. I didn't realize it at the time. It was what significance that other people, not Yellow Bags, but his friends, and what good friends mean to life when you've been alone after for so long and you don't crave human contact anymore, but you know it's sacredness. You know it's goddamn sacredness. And I put him down Jesus' reincarnation because he never showed me anything more than hidden love. Most of the time, he played an idiot to me. And I look back now and I see a man that's only a few years older than me. He was only a few years older than me that was able to hide a certain wisdom and education for one day when I would look back and see him and see a truth. Hidden behind just a really good friend that annoyed me a lot. Wasn't afraid to annoy me. But the way people have annoyed me in this world, it's like, what would I have taken? My old friends picking on me, and it's like maliciousness because it's banter. Banter level is malicious. Whereas he might, what did he do? Well, he'd lie once or twice about little things that say, maybe I've got an emotional thing here that you need to understand that you don't understand at the moment. So in this role, I came at it, yeah. Andreas is all empath, empathic. My thing was empathism. I empathized with people. So he played narcissist. He played the narcissist next to me. He played the narcissist next to me. And he was very narcissistic, but he had a good heart, good intention underneath that narcissism. And I hadn't really interacted with this person before, but I don't think much about people. I really don't. I don't think, oh, you're a narcissist, you're a bad person. No, I just take you as a whole energy, a whole assessment over all of the things that I think are important that I don't think about. So it's whatever I just take in. And inside of me says, good person, bad person. How much a good person, how much a bad person. And that's pretty much it. And he managed to really toe the line in that moment that just made me like, I hate you as much as I love you, man. I hate you as much as I love you. And we used to say love, yeah. His friends, it was like man, woman. The acceptable thing to do when you're messing each other is to say love at the end, or an X, or a kiss. Man to man, woman to woman, heterosexual to heterosexual. I know I'm straight, but I still love you, man, and I love you back. And we used to hug each other, yeah, physical touch between men who are both heterosexual. Unbelievable, unthinkable in this goddamn world, isn't it? We are missing out on socializing, the sacredness of socializing by beating it down with banter level acceptedness. And that kills the ability to say love at the end of a message to our friend, hiding the fact that we love them. We love our friend. I've taken an unbewildering journey coming from London, impartiality as a nature, an assessment of people, as I just stated, to realize how much a friend is worth in this world. And it is worth as much, if not more, I don't know if more, but as much as a spouse, a partner, as your partner. And I've never really had a partner in this world, but I reckon if I love my partner enough, I'd put her on the level of family. So really and truly, we love our friends as family. I don't banter with my family. No, we have an odd joke at each other. Yeah, once in every blue moon, when there's a spontaneous happening in life and the energy's just there, someone will say something and it will be like, yeah, that's appropriate banter. But my mate, who's English, him and his dad, I think, used to have banter with each other. That's incomprehensible to me. That's incomprehensible that the family home has banter at that level, man, when it could be sacred. Make family sacred again, England. And yet, if I'm honest, as an individual who's comes from a Greek culture, which is all about family, really is. Like, that's at least what I see. That's what I see from it. If you've got banter in your households, there's something wrong there. And that's really sad, because that's not sacred. Because when I look back and I see the pain and the love, it's like it just balances out. It just balances out. Because it was all sacred, all held within sacredness. A tone that said, we're going to go through bad stuff together. So, my friends in Brighton, I only knew them for 1 year. It was superficial to a certain extent, but that's how we treated people from the off. Now, I'm there for 10 years and I'm bound to go through some depression or mental health disorder. How do my friends respond then? When I have to live in the same house with them and I'm depressed now and I'm pissed off, I'm moody, I'm learning about socializing and communicating and respecting other people. So I make mistakes as a good person still. I'm not there. I'm not doing the same considerations in life, caring for my friends, my housemates that I should be. But what I imagine is depression in that situation would be far different, received far differently to what it is with the depression that I had with my friends, where I couldn't talk to anyone about anything. No one asked me, why are you always depressed, Andreas? I had to be high on ecstasy to feel like the energy was appropriate to what I understood of my upbringing in a good family to say, no, 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 I feel okay to express that I've got bulimia to you. I only told one person in my life openly, honestly, and come out with it. But we had to be so high on ecstasy. And on top of that, he's Irish. So what is Irish? What's the connection with Ireland? Is that after my art teacher in school told me this information, actually. He came out and told me this information. He said that the ancient Greeks, I think it was after the time of Jesus, or just at the fall of the Greek Empire to the Roman Empire, one or the other, which was about the same time, the Greeks decided, for some strange reason, to sail across Europe all the way to Ireland and impart their wisdom or some wisdom to Ireland. Just Ireland. Don't know why Ireland. So, whatever it is within me, within the Greek family roots, is within the Irish family roots. And this friend was half Irish, so I believe I connected with him. And that I think of him as Irish more than anything else, because he's totally mad, and that's how I think of the Irish is. It's beautiful. It's shit scary from my perspective. It's shit scary from my perspective, but I totally get it to this madness, guys. Just go insane to it. Get pissed and have a fight. But I'm a scaredy cat. I don't understand fighting and aggression. So I really don't know it. What one day when I'll come to Ireland for business, I'll sit down, you show me the streets, you show me the situation, you explain how that's possible. I'd like to learn that. But that's the point. On some level, he was half Irish, and on some level, he was brought up as half Irish. And I think if that's the Irish culture, it's gonna really show in an English household. The Irish do not hide their Irishness. No, you can tell they're Irish. I can. It's at least to a certain level, a certain madness that nobody can argue. Because they always win the Eurovision Song Contest the most. Yep. A little bit of madness says it makes you a better singer. Well done, Ireland, the world's best singers. Um, oh, where are we? Where are we with the story? Where are we with the story? We're reminiscing of what it means for a friend to be homeless. Oh, okay. Homelessness. So yeah, I was like super tramp mentality. What's the artificial intelligence said? No, no. Will we ever find that one? Will a viewer ever just know what I'm talking about and or have the poster on their wall and they can just turn around and go snip post? Hopefully you can't post pictures. You can't post pictures. You can't post pictures. Oh well, but at least tell us what it says. At least tell us what it says. i'm in a I'm in oblivion, man. It's weird. About 2, 3 months ago I was tuning in happily to the sounds of the universe as I was pottering through life, healing my physical body, thinking, yeah, I'm doing this, man. It's just sounds of the universe for the time being. This will get better. Life will be better. It was like I'm lost in space. That's how it felt. I'm lost in space. I'm so dazed, concussed, that it's just like, oh, what a beautiful star system passing by. What a beautiful nebula, man, at a distance. That is amazing. That one twinkles. How beautiful. And well, at the moment, I'm somewhere far, far beyond that, and it's called Oblivion. And I'm lost. I don't know where I am there, and just that all of the smoke made me connect to the pain a little bit, and it sort of dazed me. Sort of dazed me. So let's talk about yellow bags a bit more. Yellow bags. So I'm in oblivion at the moment, and I'm beyond depression, man. I'm beyond depression, I tell you. I'm at home, my God, I'm beyond depression. I'm beyond depression. I realize you, yeah, Budai. Well done, Budai. Budai made me almost smile. It literally was an almost smile. It made, but definitely not a smile nor laughter. Just the best I can do. Good try, Budai. So I'm beyond depression, and I had a discussion with my neighbor this morning that was really, really difficult. Extremely, extremely difficult. And after it, I was actually in a good mood. I figured I handled that conversation really, really well, and it really has helped the situation. And I managed to go for a little walk. I haven't been for a little walk, been able to go for a little walk in too long a time. and I was there with my crutch and my bare feet and plastic sandals. Massive, massive coat you can see in the background, and I must have looked weird. And I was hobbling, and I hobbled, and I found myself at some bins. But these bins I don't go to often. Yeah, I still go to bins, dustbin bags. I say I find stuff all the time. So the story is dumpster diving. I knew about dumpster diving from Brighton, I believe. I found out about it in Brighton. And it's this movement. I believe it was born in America or it's taken off in America to a certain extent. Not a big movement yet. There's so much stuff thrown out into the waste, food and other things that, well, if you haven't got the money, stick yourself in a bin, pick some stuff out, and you might have made some money. And I really like that mentality. People chucking things out, you might find them in a dustbin. Why not? So if you can get past the shame, the uncleanliness to what it looks like to another human being to be doing that, having that mentality that that's okay when it's a taboo to do that in this world unless you're homeless. And if you're not homeless, it's like, what are you doing? So I was like, yeah, no problem finding food, no problem finding stuff. I will be the best super Trump dumpster diver ever. I was only homeless for a month and I found food, I found water. There's enough food and water in London that is ridiculous if you're homeless that you will find. I'm hoping I haven't started a homelessness movement anywhere. Please don't make yourself homeless. That is not a wise thing to do. Not in my mind, not in my eyes. Um, but later on, after I was homeless, I was living at home with my parents, and my mental health was severe because not only did I have mental health problems, but I didn't know where I was again because I was somewhere in oblivion again. Because my mother had passed away, my close friend, had passed away at the time. And I was in oblivion and I had a mental health disorder that I had no awareness of how to handle and what it meant and what it did. And at night, my life was so terrible, so nothing, that I'd go out and I'd go to one or two bins and check if there was anything there. And totally insane, bring them back because I felt like I'd earned something. I'd gone out and hunted. I'd brought back something. There was some achievement in my goddamn life. I had nothing. I wasn't able to do anything creative. Not really. It was only one time remember doing anything. No, I think I did do a bit of drawing. I did do a bit of drawing. Not to, not often, not often enough. Maybe every few months. And I didn't have all the wisdom to be able to handle my mental health, handle my mother's passing. And I was in oblivion and I was living at home and my dad and my sister were really, really weird to me. Obviously I had my mental health disorder, but looking back on it now I've got on top of my mental health, they were both weird to me, 100%. I'm sorry. My dad pinned me down on the ground and I said, Dad, you're hurting my neck. And my dad said to me, I will break your fucking neck. That's not my dad. That's not my dad. That's not a dad from the family I grew up in that was sincere. It was the most pressured of scenarios, but My dad must have broken that day, so maybe I've learned something on this in this moment. My dad broke that day, but the set of circumstances don't make sense in my mind that led to me having to be pinned down by my family and another Greek family that lived a few doors away. Absolutely not. Do you want to know the story? You want to know the story. So I was doing weird things at the time. I just told you some of the logic I just needed to achieve, and I went out and brought back food that never really got eaten to my memory. Probably got chucked away again. It really wasn't that sane. It really wasn't wise. I really didn't know what I was doing. And well, beyond a lot of weird stuff, my mum was unwell, and my mum was, yeah, my mum passed away a few months later to my memory. So it was a really pressured situation. So it must have really been tough for my dad to see his son going through all of this weirdness and his mum being so unwell. And what did I do? In my mind, I wasn't allowed to go and sit in the car with my dog and eat my dinner. I wanted to eat my dinner in the car with my dog. I love my dog, and that's all I wanted to do. I used to walk my dog all the time, and there was no problem me taking the dog out. No suspicion that I'd do something weird with the dog. And for some reason, I wasn't allowed out the front door. I don't know if that was me or if that was my family that said you can't do that. Either way, I figured out, sod this, I just want to eat my dinner in the car with my dog. I cannot see what's wrong for my life. And I took my dog out the back with my dinner in some Tupperware, and I began to eat my dinner in the car with my dog. And I can't believe that's the same story. It's like I question myself, is that really the same story? And somehow from that, it led to my whole family and the other Greek family a few doors away coming round and pinning me down, aggravating my dad to such an extent that he says, yeah, I will break your neck. I will break your fucking neck. My dad has never sworn at me like that. I don't understand what happened there. I wanted to eat my dinner in my mum's car with my dog next to me. I was allowed to also drive my mum's car, yes. So there was no real problem adding and two, and should have got four. And oh no, Gabriel's Andreas is doing something weird again. What's he doing? He's eating his dinner in the car with Bella. Is that a problem to anybody in this world? He's capable of doing a lot worse. We know I'm pretty sure I did a lot worse than that before. And well, that was too much. That was a butterfly effect. Are we gonna call that a butterfly effect? That's goddamn reality breaking. No? That story, hearing it back, it sounds like reality must have broken. Either you did something on top of what you are saying, or there was something extra going on for the family. And no, I've told you all the pressures. I was really, really weird. I had a mental health disorder, worried about my friend that had died a few months later, not knowing how to deal with it, and having a mental health disorder. Doing a few weird things. I used to go out and not want to sleep in the family home. I was the weirdest, most erratic person I remember at home. I did not get on with my dad. I did not get on with my mum. I did not get on with my sister or anybody. I was totally lost in myself. But I did weird things all the time that were a lot worse in my memory. The way I behaved, then the way I felt relaxed at the moment. Just want to eat my dinner. I've said this. I just want to eat my dinner and I just want my dog for company. I wasn't allowed. I don't understand that. Do you? Do you understand that? Do you understand why that was the case? That my dad broke I broke somehow my dad's sincerity that was in him, that was contained within unbound levels of madness of love. Yep. That I broke the sacredness of the family bond of love to that level for the first time by eating my dinner with my dog in the car. What am I missing? Anyway, back to yellow bags. I am beyond depression at the moment. Yeah, and I managed to hold down a really hard discussion with my neighbor, and I was on point that I left it and I felt a lot better. And I went for a walk in a direction I haven't been for a little while. I haven't been outside for walks for days, and I haven't been able to go far at all. And this walk was a little bit longer. I just found the energy. It was the right time of day. I was up in the day for once. And I found myself at some bins and I had a coffee with me. I even bought a coffee. I wouldn't buy a coffee just downstairs. There's a coffee shop just downstairs because I made one before and I forgot it. I was a state. And then I had the long, no, I, so I went outside for a smoke and I realized I left my coffee and it was too much to climb up the stairs to get my coffee. So you must understand how hard it is for me at the moment to get up the stairs if I can't come back and get my coffee. I really, really needed that coffee. And I'm really, really watching the pennies at the moment. And I am the most frugal man I know when it comes to watching pennies. And I said to myself today, oh, it is so mad at the moment. Sod it, I am buying myself a coffee from the coffee shop downstairs. I sort of owe them a few coffees anyway. They take in my parcels from the post office sometimes. And that really helps me. And I haven't bought enough coffees there. So I said, sod it, even though I don't have the money, I'm gonna give it to them and have a coffee with me. I won't anyway, I was drinking my coffee, and this is all this. I must be going through the hardest, most difficult of things to. So yeah, I ah, I spoke with my neighbour, held down the conversation, felt better. It was a nice time of day, and I had my coffee. It was cold, but I had a coffee with me, and I had just enough tobacco. I went for a walk and I found myself at the bins and I didn't do much thinking. I've been in those bins before, but they've chucked some stuff away before. And I had a look and I spotted a few bags that were like, this should all go to a charity shop. It's all good stuff. It's not like sorting through rubbish. No. Contained bags with all good stuff in it. Just, oh, I don't need it anymore. I'll chuck it away. And I brought back a massive yellow bag and actually a blue bag. A large like shopping reusable shopping blue bag and a large yellow rubbish bag. I've got a rubbish bag full of stuff I found in this bin. There were brand new cushions in there, but all of this is filthy now and it needs to be cleaned. And I've got brand new cushions. I found the best bamboo roll mat because, long story, I can't really have a rug at the moment. I'll tell you in the future. I can't share it now, it's too embarrassing. But a bamboo roll mat I can have. I found a mini duvet. Like, I like to put blankets on me. And while these are all dirty, I shouldn't be using them. And I found basically a new one. And I was going to tell you all the different things I've found, but I've got to get up and I haven't got the energy to get up anymore. That's all I remember putting in there. But I found a tent that looked brand new. I found a game that said Bad Friends, and we're talking about Friends, that was brand new and sealed. There were children's clothes, a whole bag of children's clothes. How many people in this world don't have the money to buy their children's fucking clothes, man? And this person has so many clothes, they just chuck it in the bin. There's charities that will come and pick it up. Give them a call, they'll come and pick it up. It doesn't cost anything. You even went to the extent of putting it in nice bags. There were nice rubbish bags. They're yellow. It was a good quality one. I managed to rip it, but there's a lot of stuff in there. It really held. And there was a few of these bags. So naughty, this person, but maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't have the time. Maybe they're in as much depression as I am. And I'm like putting batteries in the rubbish bin when I should be taking them to the recycling because I'm so depressed at the moment. And it's always annoying when I see the batteries there because I know how much hard work it is for me to focus and remember and take them with me to the supermarket. And I might go to the supermarket 20 times before I remember to take them. And every time I'm looking at them, I'm thinking about all the times I failed. And I said, I can't do that to myself this time. I'm chucking those batteries in the bin. Maybe that's what this person did. Maybe they do it every other time. Just in a little bit of finding a better seat mode, finding a better seat position. And well, I think I've told you before. If I've not told you before, this seat position is making it come to light. He is also the reincarnation of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was the reincarnation of Jesus. Bruce Lee was the reincarnation of Jesus. And yeah, guess what? He even had, I'm going to try and pronounce it. I'm almost certainly going to get it wrong. I can't pronounce properly at the moment. So I'm going to get this word that I can't pronounce in the first instance definitely wrong, but I hope we all understand the direction I'm pointing in. I think we will. I think the brand is called Oaskix. That's my best effort. That's all you're going to get. I'm not going to repeat that. They weren't yellow, but he had Bruce Lee's trainers. I think that was a sign. He even said to me, be like water, my friend. He had a Facebook photo page of all of our pictures and the time at Manor, and it was titled Be Like Water, my friend. And someone made a video of us that had a YouTube channel at the time. And I was depressed that day. I couldn't be on the camera. And I was depressed because narcissistic yellow. We'll call him narcissistic yellow. We'll drop the bags. Narcissistic yellow took the limelight, and well, he aced it. Yep, he absolutely aced it, and I hated it because I was in competition with him because I was still competing against men. That's what I did. I didn't know how to have a friend on that level. I was still in banter mode. And in banter mode, oh my god, he's acing it today. I feel like crap today. Had to be this way, man. Feels like crap. And he aced it, and oh, what can I say? He danced that day like I haven't really seen him dance before, perform, impress, and he was dancing. I didn't like the cardigan he was wearing either. He was wearing a cardigan that said, I just look bad. But looking back, he did a performance of selling absolutely terrible. We were a terrible business. We were a terrible business. And we just did our best on the amount of money that we could have. That was my perspective. If we had 30 grand extra, 50 grand extra, we would have aced it. Absolutely. But we were on a shoestring budget. It went like this, the story. I set up an Indigo children group. I got into spirituality real quickly and thought I thought I was spiritual from not knowing anything. Not knowing anything. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm spiritual now. I've got a spiritual ego. I'll tell you about that in the future. But I had a reason to have a spiritual ego. But I didn't know a thing about spirituality except for one or two really little things. And I had a huge spiritual ego. So I had the confidence, right, let's do something with it. And I set up an Indigo children group. What did I want to do with the Indigo children group? I wanted to change the world for the better. I figured 10 of me in the same room is gonna change the world. And well, at the first one, the very first one, I found one. And that was yellow. That was yellow. I found yellow at number one. And the other ones that were more Indigo children, the first one was just a talk rather than Indigo children. We got a lot of old people there wanting to know more about their children, maybe. I can't remember, but they were old. I don't know why they were there. I never asked that question. But the later groups, there were people with fire. That's what I understand of Indigo children. People with a little bit of fire in them to change the world for the better. And that's what I was looking for. That's what I saw as Indigo children in me. I labeled myself as Indigo children. Yeah, sure. And I saw a few souls there that had the fire. And I was just waiting to see how to go forwards. That's all I was doing, waiting to see, assess the people, assess the energy, read the signs. Oh, the energy says we've got to do it through nutrition. Oh no, the energy says we've got to do it through business and we've got to make money. Oh no, the energy says totally go spiritual, make it all hippie. And assess the energy and figure out how we're going to change the world for the better together. But after a few groups, I had to admit, we're not ready yet. We're just not ready yet. And I let it go. But I found yellow on number one. I found yellow on number one. It's not bad, is it? Not bad. I'm going there to change the world, and you find the reincarnation of Bruce Lee and Jesus. And he's really clever. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. And somehow the words I said to him, this is how it went. Was it, I don't know how many times, how many groups we ran. It was like on the third group, may even been the second, probably the third group, possibly the fourth. Who knows? I can't remember. But he turned round to me and he said, I'm moving to Brighton soon. Do you want to come with me? And my thinking is, well, I remember my life and I just work with energy. I just work with energy to that absolute, how I feel and energy. And I sort of looked at my life and I realized the way I feel about this offer, there is nothing holding me back from saying no, except my dog. except my dog. We'd recently got a dog with my sister. We'd recently got a dog with my sister. Me and my sister in the family home had got a dog. And I had to turn around after recently getting this dog with my sister and ask my mum and my sister to say, can you walk it now? Can you look after it now? Can it be your dog now? Can I move out now? And obviously that was a possibility in my mind with the offer, but it was a nothing offer to me other than something new. I didn't think, oh, great business opportunity. Oh, great anything. I didn't know a thing. Didn't know a thing. Just, yeah. And I said to him, no, that's how it went. So that came maybe after, I don't remember, maybe after 5, 6 times. I really don't remember the numbers, but I'm pretty sure he asked me to move, if I wanted to move to Brighton with him after. I'll get to what came before, after we just talk about this. And he made that offer to me. And I didn't know, I didn't know a thing. I'm putting my body right at the same time, so it's it's a bit difficult for me, but it's just a story, so I know the story. I can tell the story. Should be able to tell the story. He made me that offer, and I was surprised to find out, no, I don't have anything holding me back other than my dog. And if I think about it, if I ask my family, they'll probably say, yeah, it's fine. I ended up moving to Brighton with him. We started a business. But the point is, I think after like the second time, the second group that I'd run, afterwards I was talking to him, and I felt the overwhelming need to turn around to him and say, look, look, look. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I can't remember what was before that, what it was important for me to say, I trust you. But what I know is, what I saw in him, his wisdom, his intelligence, not wisdom. He just shows a narcissistic person that thinks they're a bit it. Oh, yeah, I really am clever. That's how he came across. And that annoyed me. I don't like those sort of people. I don't like ego. I work with ego. Get rid of ego. He's beyond ego. He's hidden his ego, and it's all a persona. But within that persona, believe it or not, he doesn't play humble, the humble Jesus, the humble spiritual master. No, he plays the really, really super clever, intelligent one. And I saw that super intelligence in him. That's all I saw. And where the whole energy said good or bad, and it said good. And in terms of being innocent, so either being like a bit childlike and innocent, I don't really know that I'm narcissistic. So it's not your fault. It's just who you are. Can you speak to me? Yeah, you make an effort. You try. He really tried. He really gave a shit ton of energy to every single soul. And he showed me that really early. He showed me that really early that he gives a shit ton of energy to everybody. And nothing in this world will stand in his way if he's there with somebody in the present moment and that person just needs a little bit more energy to move mountains. He will give that, and the whole world has to stop, even me. Whatever I meant to him, that person comes first. And that's totally him. That's totally his attitude. And he's shown that with many people that I see that he's had a relationship with others. That's how he is. That's the energy. That's the tone. I am here for you. I will give you all the energy in the world when I am with you when you need. But when I am with someone else, I'm with someone else. I'm moving mountains with someone else, not with you. I just had really big mountains. I turned up on his doorstep with really big mountains of problems. I said to him, "You're Jesus, you're Bruce Lee, you're Bruce. I found you, Bruce. I found you, Bruce. I found something you can't beat. Beat, beat right. Beat right. Fight and beat it right, Bruce. Yellow, you can't do that. My mountains are too troubled for your head, for your heart, for your mastership." And they might have been. They really might have given him a challenge. I think they would have given him a challenge. I think they gave him a challenge. But at the same time, not a chance. That's how I look back at it now with the wisdom I've got. And I'm able to see a picture, a story. And I think my problems were too much of a challenge for him. No, no. One day he said to me, most people think it's about darkness and light, one attracting the other. And basically, the way it makes sense to most people, he flipped it and reversed it. He flipped it and reversed it. And that basically said, nah, I came here looking for problem. That sounds like Bruce, innit? I came here looking for trouble. I was looking for the biggest trouble I found. I found big trouble in Little London. I found big trouble in Little London. Bruce went to work. And looking at him like Bruce, that's how I look back. Yeah, my troubles were a challenge for Bruce. No, it was Jesus, man. Jesus performs miracles. You're able to perform miracles, you get it all. You got to heal somebody just by touching them or giving them a kiss or doing some Jesus magic. So you got to know everything about the person. I think he just needed to hear it from me. Where are you at? And I think that's what it was. I think he knew where I was at, the pain I had in me. And he wanted to hear it. He wanted to see it. He wanted to feel it. I'm just a big mountain of trouble. And well, at the moment, I'm fighting to do martial arts. Since I burnt my boat down, that has been my sole focus in life, to do martial arts beyond anything. I've found different reasons to do martial arts. The point is, if I start doing martial arts, I think I'm going to be, I think, how are we going to how are we going to word this? I've told myself radical ideas about what I'm capable of in this world. I've sold myself immortality. And I've also sold myself a story that because I know energy so well, and I've been hiding my Superman abilities through all of the physical work that I've had to do on my body over the years, which has only been the past 5 years intensively since it's not been working correctly. But applying the basics of what Yellow taught me, and also what my uncle taught me, and what I found in this world, and what another spiritual teacher who imparted wisdom to me through transmission. That's what he said to me. I'm I'm imparting communication to you, and it's a transmission. In other words, you ain't gonna understand it if you listen to the words alone. Feel it. Try to understand, but understand it's a shed load more on top. Whereas with yellow, I can imagine, yeah, they're like on the level. It's like, oh, I can help you as well. And and this is again realization for me that in a scenario that I'm receiving and imparting a transmission to, the one who's meant to be the wiser has had all the spiritual education certified. He has had one, he has had two, he has had three, four, at least four definite solid spiritualist, definitely spiritual on three of them, and another one questionable. But from my understanding, if he's done those three and he's done this practice also, it's a definite four spiritual practices. And he does so many things in this world and he's rich. So he's really, really creditable, this teacher. And we both went to him in relationship to business. Business. He found Kyle. Uh, well, I said if it ever slips out, it slips out. Unless it keeps slipping out, we're going to call him Yellow. I don't want to plaster it anywhere, everywhere. So he taught Yellow. And we'll have to call him Black. We'll have to call him Black. He taught Yellow. He found Yellow. He found Yellow. Yellow went for a talk. Yellow went for a talk and he gave a talk in London. And at that talk, he met Black. And Black is a certified spiritual teacher. What was Yellow's spiritual ego? CV? Nothing. Nothing. He had no spiritual CV. Not even accreditation of love in my eyes, because I came from a Greek family and he came from an English one. The point is, in my eyes, I knew love better than him. I knew love better than the master of love. And it's only taken me until recently to get that corrected in my head. Um, so it's really, really shameful, this on some level, but this is nothing compared to the shame I've gone through. And I was wary of Black at first. He's not. I can say that he's not from the Black tribe, but I was wary of Black. Just the name. I was wary of Black because I knew Yellow was a bit stupid, and he wasn't clued up on spirituality and naughty people as much as I was. And I'm a better assessor of people because I'm empathic and he's narcissistic. I can't remember what the relationship was. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. But there was the possibility in my mind, oh, this guy's rich. Maybe we can do something in business to change the world together. That's all I was thinking. This world, goddamn, needs to change for the better. I'm just going to change this world for the better, the best I can. But I also like spirituality. And well, you say this guy's spiritual. Is he a good spiritual or bad spiritual? I need to see him. And we went for a meal once, all of us, after I was introduced to him, where I made an assessment. Are you good or bad? What side are you on, Black? What side are you on? We know yellow's a bit stupid here. Hey, Black, we know yellow's a bit stupid and can be taken advantage of. Are you trying to take advantage of yellow, Black? I was pretty sure he was just on the good side. He was just on the good side. There wasn't any reason for me to suspect anything else. Hello? How can I help? Bear with me one moment. One moment. How can I help? How can I help, sir? The main door key. That was done a little while ago. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What door number are you? I'll give number 8. Oh, okay. Salam alaikum, my friend. I'll give you a knock later. I'm a bit busy at the moment. Well, how about this? I'll give it to you later, and you can put it under my. We give it back to me under my door tomorrow. Just put it under my door. I really am in the middle of something. I'll give you a knock later. Okay, we'll sort it out. You'll be fine. Ah, and I'm back. That was my next door neighbour. He needs to borrow my key to get the key cut. And he's Muslim. And we say salam alaikum to each other. And it makes me feel good. Why? Because hardly anybody in this world bothers to understand another language and religion and culture. And to be honest, I don't really understand it. I don't know what it means. But I know you say salam alaikum. And then in response to salam alaikum, you say alaikum salam. What does it mean? Does it matter if it's courteous and it makes the situation almost sacred? You're just trying to be the best person, and that's them. That's them. We don't know them. I don't know them. I don't know Muslim. I've tried to know it, but I don't really think about stuff. So I just know it from a distance, and I've never really thought about it. And well, yeah, we'll sort him out later. I'll go around later. Um, yeah, well, let's try and fast forward the story. That was the scenario. So in my head, um, yellow might as well be the child in this moment, and black is the adult, and I am well the unqualified one. I didn't have a good CV. At least yellow had nutrition. He could do other. He was into dowsing, and he did reflexology. I think it was on the ear reflexology or feet reflexology. Go figure. Yeah, reflexology. Do we know what reflexology is? It's a healing massage that works on meridians of the body. What part of the body is it most associated with? The feet. The feet. What is Jesus famous for? Touching people's feet. Jesus is famous for touching people's feet. I don't know if I'm allowed to be telling you this, but what is the problem? He's on the naughty list at the moment. And I'm a good person, even though I'm wild and mad and I've done naughty things. I'm a good person. And at the moment, he's on the naughty list. I really do feel bad that it's popped out. I mean, people could have worked it out. All the information's there, who he is. I just wanted to show some respect and not say his name. I don't want to sell him out now. It's not what I'm doing. It's just where I am in life, where I am in my thinking and what's coming out. I was going to talk about letters, and in irony, it's the other teacher, Black, who has the alphabet link that I'm in a sensitive place with, that is also on a possible naughty list. And as a result, I have to play it safe because I don't really know. I've got to do thinking, and there's not a lot of space and time for thinking. Um, there's not a lot of space and time for thinking. And as a result, it really is that easy to say, it's just best to not speak about this at all. It's a really sensitive subject matter. It should be okay in the end. So it might be okay one day, and I'll tell everybody letters through him, with him. This is his energy at the moment. It's annoying. And I say it. Gabriel, the spiritual student, where there's enough space to fit a whole spiritual master. All I do and know is energy in this life. I know it to such an extent, it's ridiculous. And I knew these spiritual masters through energy. All I've got to do is talk about them or think about them, and I'm tapping into their expressions. It's unbelievable how many times it's felt like I'm channeling yellow. I'm channeling black. Black's there in the background somehow. I've got another spiritual teacher on my shoulder. I've got my uncle there, who's a great spiritual teacher. I've got spiritual teachers at a distance. Ones I've only ever really listened to intensely on the internet. And I know them as an energy through simple wisdom. Just the wisdom they imparted, the way they speak and communicate and express and hold themselves in physicality. And I know physicality for what it means to be in a physical body, and goddamn express when you're in pain. As a result, it allows me to connect to another human being's body if I can hear them expressing in particular ways what they must be, what have inside. I guess I've never really thought about this. All I know is energy. And on the whole, they're both good people. I don't, different energies. Ultimately, they want to make the world a better place in my head, and that makes them a good people first. They want to make the world a better place for everybody, and not only that, they themselves are willing to make sacrifice after sacrifice to achieve that. They are both living gods. They are both living gods. I have had two spiritual teachers as living gods in this life, if not more. And all I am is a spiritual student. And I've said, in my belief in spirit, in the spiritual world, we can be connected to them actively, anytime, all the time, and they can come over to us in consciousness, enter us if we allow it, and teach us alongside us. And I've been running that program for many years, that mindset, not really ever looking at it dead on, just knowing that it's there in the background. And recently in my life, it was a necessity for me to say, no, no, no. It was a realization that the best thing forwards is to see it clearly, that it's it's been it's been both just an active, energetic memory that's locked inside us as an experience, and a constant thought and assessment to that energy and them as a memory, and the time that we spent together as a memory, and all the energy and everything else shared. We need more coffee. And I've realized it because I didn't know, and I was spiritual. And I would love to have a spiritual master on board. It was always like automatic, autopilot. Any spiritual master in the universe that I certify as a benevolent spiritual master, you're welcome in. Anytime, drop by. Why not? And well, I met two of them, and I know their energies. And since then, that's been the underlying mentality within me. Without thinking about it, that's how I can label it best looking back on it. So, sure, they would have hopped in and out, hopped in and out. There's another one, another energy, Sadhguru, who's another living god. He's another living god. He is the reincarnation of goddamn Shiva. I've posted this on the channel before. If you want to know why Sadhguru is Shiva, it's because he said it. He said those words, I am Shiva. I am not that rock. I know I am Shiva. I know I am not that rock. Anyway, never spoken to him, but I went to a talk of his once when he was in London. And well, I've just listened to him and all his stuff on the internet, and now it's like, are you saying the same thing again, Shiv? You're saying the same thing again. It's nothing new. Oh, this one's a story. I'll listen to this one. I can listen to this one. It's an old Hindu story or a story about gurus, a spiritual story. But everything else I get from him. He gives and he takes. Steals. He's a Robin Hood, Shiva. That's how he helps. He takes away something and he'll give you something else. But I've never shook his hand. I've never shook Shiva's hand. And sure, I went to a talk with him and I was in a massive, massive room and he was at a distance on a stage and I wasn't with it that day. I don't know what he said other than a few things. A few things. So it's possible I've connected to him with energy. But yeah, I've connected to a few people now. I was hopefully gonna say, it doesn't take more than thinking about them, really being sincere about their teaching, their work, their love, their persona, their ego, what passions they are, them as a human being, as a model, a role model. And that's how I look at them. And I really think about these people a lot. When I think it's about spiritual masters, I want to see if I can get a spiritual master that's popped up that I've known at a distance. Known at a distance that I can say somehow just not knowing. Okay, so then we get the Thich Nhat Hanh. And the Thich Nhat Hanh I speak to, and he doesn't really communicate back. And I've never really met him, but I've gone into his work and I've really tried to get his work the way I get people's work. Try to understand, take what I take from it. I never met him, but I went into his work and did some research there and I talked to him a lot. And well, that's like the hardest one to pick, innit? Imagine trying to start a conversation and a feeling with the Thich Nhat Hanh inside of yourself. What am I saying? I'm saying I can imagine if I had picked, who are we going to go with? Who's a really good example? Who's a living Jesus to the situation other than Jesus? Um, who's a good person first? We need a good person in this world. Who's the most famous good person, unquestionable good person in this world? Mother Teresa. But how can we think of Mother Teresa? We can't. Not as a role model. But if we do her program, Live Mother Teresa, starting from our lives and look at all the good work she'd done. And it's simple, simple stuff. But she worked, so it really will be felt and obvious. And you go to work in your life and you want to become Mother Teresa because that is wisdom. That is a warrior. That is the ultimate shopper. Don't ask why ultimate shopper, but she is the ultimate shopper. And unfortunately, she didn't know about Amazon. She didn't shop at Amazon. So she didn't do comfort. She half killed herself just thinking about everything, everyone else. I don't know much about Mother Teresa. But all I know is that she gave and gave and gave, and she gave so much unconditionally her whole life that she became famous for it. And if we just pick up at our point and say, well, that sounds like really, really good spiritual master wisdom. And we go about our lives like Mother Teresa now. And well, she killed herself. In our head, we're always going to have that as an image. Every time, every little thing that we're doing, it's like, oh my God, how would Mother Teresa have done this? She would have. She would have put me to shame the way she's doing this. She kills herself. I can't kill myself. No, I shop on Amazon. I shop secondhand on all the secondhand sites. I'm really I like shopping and I want to shop as much as possible, so I don't want to waste my money on expensive places. Just the cheap shops. And well, I'll still want to be Mother Teresa, but I also don't want to stop shopping. So can we do Mother Teresa and Amazon? Yeah, we can do Mother Teresa and Amazon. And what that probably means is when I kill myself, it's not going to look like Mother Teresa. The love isn't going to hurt that much because we've sold out to Amazon that little bit. And we say a little bit of Amazon to the situation. And Mother Teresa ain't got anything wrong with it. Not starting from this position. But we're we're doing this good thing for this person. We're going to where would Mother Teresa go? The hospital, and she would do something for disabled children in the hospital. And she'd give a service to disabled children in the hospital, like a volunteer, free, no money. And she'd cheer up all the disabled children in the hospital, make their circumstance so much good for about 6 months solid. But we don't do that. We do part time around our life. We go and do something thinking of Mother Teresa. And then we think of Mother Teresa. No, she gave everything. Full time, all the time. Doesn't matter where she had to go, what it was about, that's where I need to go. She just knew. She went and she healed. And that's a really good example. And what I'm saying is, you do that, you live Mother Teresa to your life. You feel how Mother Teresa makes your life better. You think those moments when you're trying to emulate now Mother Teresa and how it must have hurt Mother Teresa on a physical level much, much more because she just rocked out to that full time. She was walking, talking. I'm just going to heal to the maximum. I'm going to give my love to the absolute, the most I can give. I will kill myself in the end when I've got the potential to be a living saint and immortal, the amount of love I'm dispensing. But no, for whatever reason, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to forget about my physical body and I'm going to kill myself in the process. My love will be unquestionable. And for that reason, Mother Teresa will be better than you in every moment. She said, I'm going to the grave with this. You say, nope. I want comfortable chairs, good working conditions where possible, 3 meals a day if I eat 3 meals a day, and maybe a few pennies for a bit of life in a city where there's no nature and I have to compensate for no nature. You make your agreements to make it a realistic, applicable application of something good in one's life that a living saint inspired another to do. And we think someone does that for 10 years and you turn around after 10 years and we look back and we think of all the energy and the effort that we've given in her honor. And we're like, oh my God, for whatever it is, it's become such an part of my life. I can't let it go now. I just can't let it go. I've given so much to this, and it gives so much back in sacredness, sincerity, service, humbleness, honor, healing, respect, love, passion to a certain extent, dedication. And it's all this thing that nobody else does, and this thing that we do alone to ourselves. And we look back, and it's alone to ourselves now for 10 years, and we look back at all the healing, all the good things we've done, and how that feels different from the rest of our life. And somehow, not only how it looks different to the rest of our life, but how the whole rest of our life has been impacted and changed as a result of this thing. It's like 10 years ago, we wouldn't have imagined going and helping at the local school on a Saturday for no reason. But now it's like, oh, I love it. It's what I live for. It's what gives me energy. It's what I can give. It's what gives me energy. It's what I live for and what I can give. What a radical mindset to never really volunteering, never being of service, never doing a good thing for anybody. And then 10 years later of doing good things all the time, we think the way we would behave in the rest of our life would be changed just that little bit and it will be evident. And as a result, that's how one can see the situation. What someone that we've never met, just trying to understand them at a distance, being a sincere, humble student to them as a role model and teaching as a leader in this world, leading and showing the people the way. And it's for us to turn around, see that, and follow it. And after 10 years, we can see them as an energy. We reckon we will get them down as an energy to us so good if we are that sincere after 10 years that we can say, this must be Mother Teresa energy now. I must be accessing a vibration that's on a similar frequency to Mother Teresa now. Not my whole life, but if I can look at it just like this, that is a solid Mother Teresa energy, and that's within me. And then we say, how about this? Any other soul, if you want to be that open, or how about just Mother Teresa? I would love a chat with Mother Teresa. I have given everything. I'm going to say the door of this energy ball. Hey, Mother Teresa, if you're still out there, as a spirit, as a consciousness, not a finite, definitely defined life energy, because that's just energy. That's not consciousness anymore. We're talking about her consciousness, her awakeness. But at the very least, you'll be able to tap into Mother Teresa energy then. You can set the requirements on what you hold your Mother Teresa energy door open for. Who gets access? Maybe you say, no, I do not want anybody alive on any level, with a body, without, with a spirit, without, with a soul, without it near me. No. And that's a wise thing to do. The point is, Mother Teresa summoned an energy that is defined as an energy, as an emotion, and at her death is locked in as an emotion. And we can say, well, I don't want the person, because that just feels weird. You can have the person too if you want. Yeah, Saguri. That was Saguri popping up. That was Shiv coming and saying hello and made me go weird on my words. But no, I've said end of phone calls. I'm not taking any more real people. So why is it I got a Shiva energy when I'm not thinking about Shiva? I don't know. Maybe Mother Teresa is a Shiva energy. We don't know. We don't know. I'm talking about Mother Teresa. That's the reason. I'm thinking maybe Mother Teresa has a connection to Shiva. It's all energy and vibration. These people are living gods and they hold strong energy. I've been at God's gym and I have been blessed. I know energy and I've been training in energy. I've been training in energy. Um, and yeah, why don't we do an experiment on this channel? We give a bit of sincerity to understanding Mother Teresa in the near future. And we create an energy about her and we're talking about her. And we see if we can get any different after a little while of doing this, after feeling that energy, saying, yeah, are we all ready now to open up the door? What are we opening up the door to Mother Teresa to? I don't know anything. I haven't really thought about Mother Teresa other than what I've said now. And we invite Mother Teresa in. That'd be cool. And well, we can all do the same. It's not really difficult. You can all come along the ride with me. Invite Mother Teresa in. Maybe the channel name, the title gets changed. Look, Sheev, go away. Fuck off. You're not allowed in. I've got to be crystal clear with them. Basically, if I have connected to them as energy, because I have been training at God's gym, I really do speak to them and connect to them. And because I really do believe it, I believe our energies have been entangled, at least within my brain, a little bit. And I need to get that out of me. So I've said no more phone call. So what does that mean? Everybody off the phone now. Jesus, Black, Shiva, and everybody off the phone. No more phones. No more active phone calls. So in other words, from that moment, everybody's instruction is if I feel another energy that says spiritual master. It has to be just the energy now. No consciousness, no real connection. And I might just have to do something or say something to rest myself assured, to remind myself, no, it's end of phone call time. So what that means is there's this period of space where the instruction is through intention of consciousness and applying that, well, the way that affects energy, that no, the energy is just within me now. It's just the energy I know of Sadhguru. It's just the energy I know of yellow. It's just the energy I know of black. It's just the energy I know of all the different teachers at all the different distances. And as a result of the different ways I've known them, they all feel different. And that makes total sense because it's just energy. And it's just the way I know them. And it makes total sense. It's not difficult. They all feel different because I think of them different because I've got a different memory, a real active memory, a real active relationship with how I know them, even if it's just pigging out and listening to every single video Shiva Sadhguru has ever made and posted on YouTube. That's what I've done until the extent of like, come on, you Shiva, and that's what you're giving me. But yeah, I take the Hindu stories, the stories of gurus and gods, they're fantastic and amazing. That's coming from Shiva, man. Flipping hell, if you haven't realized already, be a little kid, tune into Sadhguru and listen to the stories that he tells of gurus if you love spirituality. Um, smoke, coffee. What else are we doing to wrap up this one? So, end of phone calls. And obviously, especially with black and yellow, that I knew and I've met and I spent time with and I felt comfortable around, and I'm autistic. I haven't had that experience with the other ones, but I've had that experience with both of them. And I would have called both of them close friends before my life went mad, and so did Black. Black went mad to me. He was mean, he was naughty, he wasn't black. He ended our time together, which was about 9 months, I believe. 9 months a year. I lived in one of his properties for 6 of those months. I rented the room from him. Um, and he left it with madness. I had a mental health disorder and I went mad. But he turned out that he wasn't good spiritual master anymore. No, I'm going to torment you the way I leave you. I'm going to aggravate your mental health the way our relationship ends. And that's what he did. So he doesn't sit as a good memory in my mind. But I don't doubt his spiritual wisdom, and I don't doubt what was underneath the way that relationship ended. And that was, I am here to change the world. So are you. And he said, he asked me basically through an analogy, we're making a movie. What are you doing? And I said, I will make the teas and coffees. That's my best qualification. I just need to do anything in this direction, I said. I saw him changing the world. Kyle had the wisdom. All he needed was a bit of mentorship and he would have changed the world. And I said his name again. And what happened? Nothing. Seemingly nothing. But I would have made the teas and coffees to have been a part of that show. That is my My claim to fame. I could have been making the teas and coffees for, well, who knows how to reference it and label it. What are we calling that movie if it ever took place? Hasn't quite gone that way. That's really, really weird, isn't it? And I find that really, really weird. And where is my goddamn... There it is. I need to shout sometimes to find stuff. What was I going to say? Where is my goddamn tobacco? You're not goddamn tobacco. No, tobacco needs the utmost respect. Not goddamn tobacco. Tobacco hears. Tobacco hears. And that's not good. We need respect if we're smokers with tobacco. And calling it goddamn tobacco isn't respect. When I could have said, hey, tobacco, tobacco. Where are you, tobacco? Where are you? I can't see you, tobacco. I keep looking for you. It's been like this all day, tobacco. Every time I try to look for you, tobacco, I can't find you, tobacco. I can't find you. Why is that, tobacco? And tobacco telepathically inserts a message into my head. Why I can't find tobacco, and then I find tobacco. The amount of times I do that with stuff is amazing. They can hear. Is it them or is it our brain, our mind? I say it. I look at it that it's them. I look at it that it's them. Yep, I say they're real, real things. They're not goddamn. They are beautiful, not goddamn. But it could almost be goddamn. It could almost damn God. Not this particularly. It's got a horrible, horrible packet and label. Horrible, horrible reminder of how much respect we need to show it. So yeah, I didn't put enough tobacco in. Anything else to say? Was there? I lose the conversation. Is there anything else we need to say? We were talking about taking over the world, and I just want to make teas and coffees and be with these people and be around these people. But I didn't know they were these people. I didn't know they were these people at the time at all. It's just these people is people that say whatever I'm going to change this world for. Yellow wants me to say better on the phone calls that have been ending. And I've said end of phone calls, return to body. Yellow said say better. Start saying better a lot. And if you look at the channels, I've started saying better a lot. And every time I say better, I tap into the energy of yellow. That's yellow energy. Because I am a student of these people. I think about them so much. In fact, Yellow wasn't so much a role model to me, no. He was just a friend, but unfortunately, the best friend I've had in this life. And whatever it was, however much in me was the mentality, look, I'm coming at the world and I'm just going to do my best to make the best world possible. I don't know how best it will get, but it will be best. It will be better. And he had that in him. I saw that he had that in him. That's what we used to talk about. Making the world a better place. Spirituality, energy, healing, food, health, love. Terrible business where we used to argue. Oh, Yellow tried to get me in the corner once. What did he manage to pull out of me on that occasion? What did Yellow manage to pull out of Andreas on that occasion? So we had a business and we had a customer, and he was being a narcissistic idiot in my head. And to me, I said, oh my God, if you're that much of an idiot, If you're that much of an idiot, our business is going to burn. Our business is going to burn. So sod it. If it's going to burn in 10 months, I'm going to burn it now. And in front of the customer, I started telling him off. And I specifically made sure I was in front of the customer telling him off. He said, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that in front of the customer. And I said to him, look, I will burn this business down now if you're going to be that much of an idiot. Stories of Jesus. How can I complain? But you got to laugh out of me. It still wasn't real. Still wasn't from me. It was just energy passing through me. I'm still in oblivion, but I'm able to laugh and be so depressed. I know that my body hasn't laughed where it needs to laugh from for it to be a laugh. My jaw's here. And that says, well, Gabriel, you claim a big spiritual ego and you know about the inner smile meditation that your uncle should have told you about but hid from you. Maybe give the inner smile meditation a go. Maybe that will help. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Um, so yeah, Gabriel, the spiritual student, but there's enough room to fit a whole spiritual master. I've got the biggest appetite in the world. I will eat them. I will eat them in one sitting. I just love spirituality, man. And I found spiritual people. I have said beyond anything, I am pretty sure I'm the biggest idiot with the biggest heart that loves whatever he loves the most. And I chose spirituality. And while it really looks like a lot of love to spirituality, I'll tell the story one day why. And they're saying end of phone call basically now. Black and yellow are sending part of end of phone call. So end of phone call is no, 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 I can't handle this anymore. You're not really talking to me. You're not really talking to me. We're not really communicating. You're not really giving me spiritual lessons all the goddamn time. No. It's just the energy. It's all the effort that I have put in now for too long a period in the most tricky, difficult of situations, remembering you all of the wisdom that you gave me, all of the time, and other people I've found in the world. And I might have about 10 people that I think of. They don't have to be spiritual, but that's where my jig is. So I think about spiritual people. I think about love. Doesn't have to be. You could be into personal development and have 10 personal development gurus, and they're all the exact same thing. It's exactly the same. One of these people is a personal development guru. He's a bit spiritual, this one. I like his personal development, and it says real spiritual to me. And I have him here that I talk to all the time. In fact, where I am at the moment in life is so pissed off with spirituality. They're both on the naughty list at the moment. I've got no reason to talk to them, so I talk to the personal development guru, John D. Martini. Yeah, I talk to John D. Martini all the time, and I know John as an energy. I've shook his hand, I've been to his talk, and I've got it to shake in his hand. I know energy. I went real dumb at. Oh, it was a workshop actually. It was a workshop actually that I went to for John D. Martini. This is my education. I just went spiritual for a few years and went to a load of talks and workshops. And he was one person I followed. Managed to go to two or three, maybe four. And the time I remember The time I remember, so I need to tell the story and I'll explain getting off the phone as this story comes out. It's just what's coming through me and I'm going to allow it. I don't want to talk about this if I'm honest. I want to stop. I'll share it. Whilst I was living in Brighton, John D. Martini came over to London and he was giving a talk on money and wealth. And I don't know where I found the money for, but I said, I want to go to this talk. And Yellow said, go, but no, I'm not going to come on this journey with you. And I went to the talk and I'm there and I'm listening to all the goodness and advice that he's giving to earn money. And I put up my hand to just say my truth. I just put up my hand to say my truth. It was bursting to get out of me. And I put up my hand and I spoke and I said, John, I didn't say John that way. I said, I'm going to use exactly what you tell me to make money of in this world, to make as much money as I can, so much money that I'm going to bring down the monetary system. I didn't know how to make the world better. I thought money's the root of all evil. Let's bring down the monetary system. I couldn't listen to any more of the talk because I don't know why I was really emotional when I said it. And it burst out of me and I was really embarrassed and tensed up with energy in my autism for the rest of the workshop. I don't remember much. All I remember is him recommending one book to me. Not to me personally, to the whole room, but in that moment, it was like I'm talking to you. Do this. I know the rest of this workshop hasn't made any sense to you. Whoever you crazy idiot are, this workshop hasn't made any sense to you. You're not going to be able to take a thing from it. But take this, read this one book, and the book was Instantaneous Personal Magnetism. I bought the book, I read the book. It was an old book, and it says a lot about the world if you can take the right perspective. But at the end of the workshop, no matter how much I embarrassed myself, I forced myself to go samurai mode and honor. Or are we doing Taoist and honor, virtue? Virtue sounds better, but I'm fighting autism. So for me, that's samurai, man. That's as samurai as it gets. That's as fighting as it gets. Just always doing that thing, the right thing, don't questioning it. I don't know why I had to shake his hand, but I just felt like I had to shake his hand that day. And I was there and I was so nervous. I was dancing, waiting for the person in front of me through the nerves, literally dancing, moving about through the nerves, waiting for the person in front of me to finish. And I've got to him and he's like, well, what do you want? That's his energy because I'm like so nervous. I said, I just want to say, shake your hand and say thank you. I want to shake your hand and say thank you. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And in my head, I've got Yellow laughing at me and John laughing at me that, oh no, something big's happening and you haven't got a clue and you're telling the world, and the world are going to come with you on this one. So I don't know what all of that means at the moment, but I suspect it might mean something. And well, in a way, end of phone call means I'm returning to my physical body. And I think about these people as nothing but balls of energy, as consciousness. Everything I know about this person just summed up into one ball of energy. All the memories, all the different thoughts and possibilities I've had since, all the ideas, all of the insane conversations I've developed over the past year because my life is that bad at the moment. I've gone insane and I'm talking to people. It used to be only one or two. It used to be the Thich Nhat Hanh that I spoke to. I used to call him Titch, an affectionate name, and I used to just speak to him every so often on the boat when my life got hard last time. I developed it. I just start speaking to myself. Nobody there, man. The Thich Nhat Hanh, what can we imagine him as a personality rocking up inside of us and meditating? Are you there, Titch? Where are you, Titch? And he speaks so softly and simply and perfectly, Titch, that it's like you'd never know he was there. So Titch might be here. I've given him so much energy and thought over the years. As much as on the level with the others, that Titch should rightfully be here. Titch should rightfully be here. So I reckon Titch is here, if in honesty, and I don't know it. As an energy, but he doesn't really do defined energies that way. Why does it fall apart? There's no ego with Titch. Unfortunately, even Shiva and all the rest have an ego. And I work not to have an ego on the little things that don't matter, on everything that I think matters. And what I think matters isn't what a spiritual master that see when they see an ego matters the same thing. And they do different ego. Yellow hides his ego. Yellow hid his ego. He was a spiritual master. He was awakened. Don't know how you want to reference it. I don't like the reference enlightened. But he knows. Let's just say that. He knows I don't know. He knows I don't know. And because I don't know, all I know is that he's yellow. That's all I know. And I've described yellow. And that's all I know. I really don't think about it. And I look back and wrapping up the phone calls, once we give that intention, then we realize it's just balls of energy in there and that we think about all the time. And we've given so much energy there that even if they were to pop by for 5 minutes here and there and tell us some wisdom, the fact is we're thinking about them so much the rest of the time. We're tapped into their energy. It's become a part of our life now, like it would after 10 years of the Mother Teresa program. We get there at the end of the 10 years and we look back and we're like, God damn, I can't believe it. That is some paycheck. I have become such a better person through this. That has been worthwhile. But because I was, because I'm not good with socializing. I don't really think. I don't. That's the way I am. I give people space and I just follow people. I let them be above me when they're above me. Like in nutrition, I used to ask him all the questions under the sun. I used to ask him questions all the time about nutrition, and you used to tell me whatever I wanted to know. And there was his other friends, and there were 2, 3 friends of his that were also role models to me. Why? Because I didn't have a personality. I worked actively in ego, not to have an ego, constantly trying to kill my ego, but needing oxygen in terms of socializing life and not having the confidence there. So I used to just copy people when I saw something that said comfortable energy. This is comfortable energy. One of his friends, I remember, used to look up. Used to look up when he was thinking. And I started doing that because it looked like a comfortable energy. His other friend, I can't remember. I used to mimic something of his. I used to do that with my old friends. What friends did I used to do it? The friends that were good with women. Oh, you're good with women. I'm terrible. I need to be like you. What do? You do this, that, and the other. Yeah, I can't do the bit where you're actually talking to the women or anything, looking at the woman or talking, thinking about the woman, but the rest of you, I'll try to copy one or two things. So that was the wisdom then, and that's what it grew into. And well, there was lots to, he's a big personality, yellow, and he said you can talk like this if you want, Gabriel. The possibility is if life ever presents itself to you, where you have to talk and the pressure is this much, I can talk like this, that, and the other. Just know that's a possibility, a potential. But no, it's Jesus, isn't it? Jesus performs miracles. Jesus was basically Jesus as a I think he was 26, as a 26-year-old with a 23-year-old, and the 23-year-old is me, and I'm just me, and he's only a few years older, but he's playing narcissistic idiot friend, good friend, and that's how I receive him. So I think you're my friend, but you're not perfect at all. And behind all of that, he's so wise that he knows me in an instant, that he's managed to track me down. I mean, does, I won't say where he lived, doesn't seem appropriate, but it wasn't too far or far enough not to find oh, it's come out. He attended the talk. That's what I said. He attended the talk in London. And now I'm thinking I'm talking about him and I'm thinking about his family and well he hasn't made an effort to my awareness to advertise it. And I'm like, well, he can take it, he can take it, he can take it. It's there, he's coming, it's got to come out. He does hide the ego. I don't show my true ego. I don't show my true ego. I do my work in secret. Last time I got pinned to a cross, it might not be safe. And I open my gob when life demands. And well, believe it or not, this is just where I am, where I've come to in my own insanity, trying to say, I don't want to talk to you anymore in my head that way, that you're Jesus, that you're a wise master. I want to say, no, sum total of energy, you're an you're a spiritual master and you've given me so much and you're a ball of energy. And that ball of energy is just my understanding of who you are as a human being and all the energy and experience and everything else that has consisted of. And all of the phone calls over the years that have taken place where I didn't know that he was there as Jesus, where I held the door open. Of course, I'm going to let Jesus come in and teach me if he wants to. Not my favorite cup of tea. I've never been into Jesus. I don't like Jesus. I think Jesus has been corrupted in this world. What is there to take from Jesus? Let food be thy medicine. That sounds like good advice. And you say to follow you, and you're the master of love. I don't question you're the master of love. I just don't know enough about you. I reckon the way the world has sold you is slightly incorrect. Been altered a couple of times at the bare minimum. I don't know anything about you, love. That's what's annoying. So I don't really like the Jesus of this world, the Christian Jesus. Sure, a spiritual Jesus, healing master of love, carpenter sounds fantastic to me. But how am I ever going to find out about that, Jesus? I'm not. So forget it. I don't like Jesus when I hear Jesus. People talking about Jesus. And well, holding the door open for someone like a Jesus to come in. And well, looking back and knowing now that that was Jesus, says what he would have almost certainly have had phone calls with me over the years, been present with me over the years from time to time. And he has been. He just, all of a sudden, it turned to Jesus energy when I was homeless. One day I had to get a bus somewhere and I was really, really nervous. And all of a sudden I felt better. It felt like yellow. It felt like yellow. Another time I had to go to a talk and my paranoia schizophrenia was so bad, man. I couldn't listen to the talk. I was scared of the man next to me and his hand, the way he was sitting. I was like shaking in my boots. But before that, Jesus rocked up with energy and I was making energy spirals in my head and it just calmed me down. But it was his energy. And I know energy calms me down. And on that day, I was just twisting and playing with energy in my, well, head, in my energy body. I just felt like energized. And it was his energy. I didn't think of him. He just popped up. And as a result, I look back and that's got a really, really defined energy. And if I admit, I must have received phone calls that's programmed his energy really, really clearly. And maybe his master plan is, look, I have to play hidey ego game in this world, in this life. But within me is me, everything I am. The energy is here for you to see, absolutely, but it's hidden within a hidey ego. But don't worry, everybody, don't worry. I made Gabriel, yeah, I made Gabriel. Don't, oh, he made Gabriel. Jesus made Gabriel. Yellow gave Andreas the idea of changing his name. And there was a time in life when Andreas turned around and said, well, if I don't change my name now, I'll probably never change my name. And my life is so mad that if I change my name, nobody will really care. Nobody should care. Why not? Sure, I'll do it. What name? I don't know. What think of a name, Andreas? Gabriel? Gabriel, maybe. Gabriel doesn't sound too bad, Gabriel. Thought about that about 3 or 4 times, and Gabriel stuck. It went like that. That's how it went. And within Gabriel, I can another time.